Have you ever wondered how ancient explorers managed to navigate vast oceans and treacherous terrains without GPS or even accurate maps? What if I told you that one small object, no larger than your hand, changed the course of human history forever? This is the mystery of the compass, but where did it come from? And did it really originate the way we think it did? The compass is often hailed as one of the greatest inventions in navigation history, but its true origin is wrapped in layers of mystery, myths, and debates among historians. We use it today without a second thought, but few stop to ask, who first discovered that a small magnetized needle could point north? Most textbooks will tell you that the compass was first developed in China during the Han Dynasty, sometime around the 2nd century BCE. Chinese scholars discovered that lodestone, a naturally magnetized mineral, had the strange ability to align itself with the Earth's magnetic field. They noticed that if a sliver of lodestone was floated on water or suspended by a string, it would always point in the same direction, north. But here's where things get intriguing. The earliest Chinese compasses weren't used for navigation. They were actually used in feng shui, to harmonize human environments with the natural world. These were spoon-shaped devices made of lodestone, placed on a polished bronze plate called a luopan. Their purpose? To determine the best orientation for buildings, not to find your way across the sea. So how did this spiritual tool become a navigator's best friend? Some theories suggest that Chinese sailors began using compasses on ships by the 11th century during the Song dynasty. This is backed by ancient Chinese texts like the Pingzhou Table Talks, which mention sailors using south-pointing needles to guide their voyages. What's fascinating is that these south pointers actually pointed south, not north, because that was the direction considered sacred and auspicious in Chinese culture. But while China was pioneering its early magnetic tools, other civilizations were catching on too. In the Islamic world, scholars and mariners were making their own discoveries. By the 13th century, Arabic manuscripts described magnetic compasses being used by navigators in the Indian Ocean. Some Islamic scholars even debated whether Earth itself was a giant magnet, centuries before European scientists would do the same. And then there's Europe. The earliest written evidence of compass use in the West comes from an English monk named Alexander Neckham, around 1190 CE. He wrote about sailors using a magnetized needle floating in water to guide their ships. Strangely, this seems to appear out of nowhere, no long evolutionary process, no earlier references, just suddenly there. How did the knowledge jump from China or the Islamic world to Europe? Was it through trade, or maybe war? Or was it secret knowledge passed between merchants and sailors? One popular theory is that the compass traveled along the Silk Road and maritime trade routes. Think about it. Traders from China, India, the Arab world, and Europe were constantly interacting. It's entirely possible that the technology was shared, adapted, and reinvented along the way, creating different versions in different cultures. But here's another twist. Some claim that the compass may have an even more ancient origin. Archaeologists in the Olmec region of Mesoamerica, the area we now call Mexico, found mysterious artifacts known as magnetite bars, dating back to around 1000 BCE. Some of these were aligned in ways that suggest they could have functioned like primitive compasses. The Olmecs were astronomers and engineers, and it's possible they understood magnetic properties long before anyone else. Could the New World have held magnetic secrets we're only just beginning to understand? Adding to the mystery, ancient Indian texts like the Samarangana Sutradhara, a 11th century Sanskrit treatise on architecture and machinery, mention floating iron instruments that some interpret as magnetic devices. Were they compasses, or something else entirely? What's striking is how many different cultures separated by thousands of miles and years seem to have discovered similar magnetic phenomena independently. Or did they? Some fringe theories even suggest that ancient civilizations were influenced by lost advanced knowledge, Atlantean science, alien contact, or forgotten global networks. While mainstream historians reject such ideas, the fact remains, the true path of the compass's origin is far more complex than any simple answer. And then there's the question of the Earth's magnetic field itself. Why does it exist? Why does it shift over time? The magnetic North Pole isn't fixed, it wanders. In fact, it's been moving faster in recent decades than ever recorded. Some scientists even warn of a possible magnetic pole reversal in the future, where north becomes south and vice versa. What would that do to our navigation systems? Would compasses stop working? Would ancient methods suddenly become unreliable? The compass may seem like a simple tool today, but behind that tiny spinning needle lies a web of science, mystery, history, and even spirituality. It's not just a device, it's a symbol of humanity's quest to find direction, both physically and metaphorically. From ancient Chinese philosophers to Arab navigators, from European monks to modern-day explorers, the compass has guided us across oceans, deserts, and uncharted lands. But its own story, still full of unanswered questions. So the next time you hold a compass in your hand, ask yourself this: are you using it to find your way? Or is it a reminder of how much we still don't know about the forces that shape our world? Because in the end, the compass doesn't just point north, it points to the mystery of human curiosity itself.